I mean, Mark Elias is one man. He's doing the Lord's work, as is Stacey Abrams.
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Leftist Extremism. This is a week that the leftist media chose that they should decide what is holy. Yeah, as they chant their mantra that ballot security is a bad thing, MSNBC's Nicole Wallace gushed that liberal activist Stacey Abrams and other leftists are doing the Lord's work.
I mean, Mark Elias is one man. He's doing the Lord's work, as is Stacey Abrams. But why are the Washington Democrats so complacent on an issue that could deprive them of majorities in the House and the Senate?
Yeah, fair elections, that could deprive them of majorities. Why would they want people to vote in their own district and show IDs? In Abrams' case, I guess doing the Lord's work apparently requires losing an election and then spending the next several years lying about why.
Democracy failed Georgia.
PBS wanted to get on the lies and also deciding what is holy, so they hosted this whopper.
But the key thing that everyone should keep in mind is that for Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who is a deeply faithful person, devout Catholic, her love of the Constitution, it ranks up there as number 2 in terms of what she strongly believes in.
That good old devout Catholic Nancy abort the baby with taxpayer cash Pelosi and her love of the Constitution and all of its rights that she works to infringe upon. I'm going to say Jonathan Capehart is just out of his mind.
As a constitutional officer, as Speaker of the House, for her allegiance and oath to the Constitution is inviolable.
Has you ever looked at some of the measures that Pelosi gets behind? Assaults on the Second Amendment, abortion. Capehart, clown of the week right there. He's going to be tough to beat, but we do have other contenders. How about the current heavyweight bias champion, MSNBC, on climate panic?
Is this hyperbole? If Democrats don't take advantage of the opportunity they have before them now with both chambers and the White House to address this in a complete way, what are we looking at around the corner in the next set of summer heat waves?
It's not hyperbole what Farhad Manjoo wrote. I was quoted in that piece.
Well, she was quoted, and if the Democrats don't get what they want right now, the world will end. It's just like how democracy died a few weeks ago when Democrats lost their attempt to take over elections.
This is life or death for the democracy.
It's always pass the left's agenda first, ask questions second, because we don't have time to ask questions. Death is right around the corner. But you're in good hands. Ask Allstate. They support that grim message. Give them a call. Let them know how you feel about that. CNN's Fredo Cuomo also gets in the clown contender ring this week as part of a tag team with the American Federation of Teachers president Randy Weingarten, who claims that if you don't allow critical race theory in schools, you'll prevent learning about slavery and the Civil War because no one ever learned about those things before CRT.
What the fear is that teachers will be so bullied and so disparaged, we've seen that already, and threatened, that they'll stop teaching about the Civil War, the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment.
Again, if you don't give them what they want, things will come to an end. In this case, it's learning about the Civil War. It will be ignored. A lot like they ignored the sentencing Thursday of MSNBC star lawyer and frequent guest Michael Avenatti. MSNBC gave no coverage to the sentencing on Thursday, and they used to love spending time on Avenatti. He had 108 appearances on MSNBC in 2019 alone. Of course, now that he's being sentenced for trying to extort Nike, they don't want to talk about him. Instead, they spend their time discussing imaginary crimes that could be committed by Republicans.
I mean, if Donald Trump decided tomorrow to wage a campaign to make hang Mike Pence a litmus test for the Republican Party, the vast majority of Republican office holders would get behind hanging Mike Pence. And that's a grim, dark-ass thing to say, but it is the GD truth right now.
Except Hayes wouldn't know the truth if it bit him in the butt. Like the truth in the recent Politico poll showing 71% of Republicans have a favorable opinion of Mike Pence, so I don't think officials will hang him. But again, this is Hayes, who on Tuesday actually tweeted out a Chinese state propaganda cartoon criticizing the U.S. over firearms deaths. He said he was fascinated by how gun violence played into America's perception around the world. I'm fascinated that Hayes is so easily duped by an outlet that's not a reflection of public opinion in China or anywhere else in the world. It's operated by the Chinese government itself. But spreading communist and socialist propaganda is pretty much what Hayes and MSNBC are all about. Well, now that I just disparaged China and MSNBC, I probably just tanked my reach on social media. So let's wrap things up. I'm Eric Shiner from MRC-TV, asking you to head over to the MRC Store, pick up some freedom-loving, patriotic gear. It'll likely annoy Chris Hayes and communists all over the world, which makes it all worthwhile. Also, head over to MRCTV.org for more videos, entertainment, and information. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe on the wide variety of social media platforms we're available on. And we'll return next week with more leftist media madness.